Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kathy C. Patterson. Just in case we haven't met, I was thinking about this the other day when my mother was ill. She started out with having brain surgery, and it looked like it was going well there for a while, and then all of a sudden things went the other way. And so for a few years she was in a state where she needed, I can't even call it rehabilitation, I call it habilitation, because she never did recover from it. But one day when I was in the throes of trying to help take care of her, it was during the time when my 3 children were young. I was building my career, and my husband had a corporate job that kept him away, and I always tease him and say I was a single parent during that time. But one day I went to her bedside, and just out of the clear blue, she pulled me by the hand, looked at me intensely, and said, "You can only do what you can do." I thought about that because oftentimes we are faced with things for which we have no control. I had no control over her physical well-being. All I could do was pray and ask God for strength to be able to help take care of her in the best way that I knew how to do. So it made me think about the essay I wrote in the book. This is my book, Thoughts to Ponder, Discovering Your Authentic Self. And if you have the book, turn to page 47, because you know oftentimes I read a little bit from it. But it was the essay I did on balance. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know I showed him. And when you look at this guy, he is balanced, right? He's not gonna move unless I add some kind of force to him. So I'm adding force to him, and he's still balanced. What happens if I add a lot of force? Is he still balanced? Yeah, he is, okay? And so the issue for us is, how do we handle things when it's out of our control? So I'm reading a little bit from page 47, glasses on first. Okay, I'm reading a little bit from page 47, and it says, as we journey through life, there are ups and downs, twists and turns, ebbs and flows. Being self-aware and knowing who we are is critical to keeping our balance during perilous times. So there will be times when things will hit you, will come at you, and you didn't expect it. But here's the thing. First of all, let's try to maintain our balance. Let's try to keep everything in perspective and do what we can do. When it's out of our control, like a relationship that has gone awry, or an illness, or a death, anything like that, loss of a job, anything. Sometimes we just don't have the control. And so as a believer in faith, I believe to pray and ask God to give me the strength to deal with it. Sometimes you just have to accept it and know that, okay, like I talked about before, we have seasons. It won't be that way always, but while we're going through the season, let's go through the season with the expectation of things are going to get better. Let's surrender to that and not try to control something that is way beyond our ability to do it. You know, I reflect back on the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to change the things I can, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's a big deal. And finally, the other thing is, give yourself some grace. You know, I talked about that not long ago, about giving yourself grace, understanding that I'm on page 48 now, at the closing thought. Sometimes we're presented with challenges, stresses, and difficult situations, and it's hard to maintain balance. But let us try, let that be our endeavor, to do everything within our power to make our surroundings, our environment okay. Let us not infringe upon the positivity somebody else may be going through or having right now, and try not to bring them down. But let's focus on being positive ourselves. Remember, I talked about stimulus, response, and consequence, that when you're hit with the stimulus, there is a gap before you respond. It is how you respond to the stimulus that's going to determine your consequence, be it negative or positive. So that's what I had to say today. I'm praying that everybody is doing well, and we're coming up on a season, or we're in a season right now, where many people just are down. There's some anxiety and stress because of loved ones they've lost and broken relationships. But let's just remember that as we walk through our daily lives, let's walk with kindness and love, and be careful about how we treat one another, because we never know how people are really doing. So have a blessed day. Again, this is the book, Thoughts to Ponder, Discovering Your Authentic Self. And you can get it from Amazon, or you can go to bookbaby.com, or my website, www.kcploveproductions.com. Okay? You have a blessed day. Be safe, be well, and until next time, keep your balance.